Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true.
Mandeville roads flooded. Several roads in Mandeville are flooded due to heavy rain and persistent rainfall associated with a trough affecting the island. Among the roads flooded are Ward Avenue, the Carteret College Road, Villa Road, Newland Road, Grove Road, and Manchester Road. Mayor of Mandeville, Donovan Mitchell, is advising citizens to avoid the flooded areas. I want to use this opportunity to ask the people to stay home if they do not have to traverse the street, he said during an interview at Ward Avenue. We have realized what is the problem here in Ward Avenue, and apart from the fact that the still has developed along the area causing the blockage, there is an area that we need to have access to, which is impeded because of some issues, he added. Met Service issues flash flood watch for all parishes. The Meteorological Service of Jamaica issued a flash flood watch for all parishes on Thursday, as weather conditions continue to worsen due to an area of low pressure across the southwestern Caribbean. The flash flood watch will remain in place until 8 a.m. on Friday. A flash flood watch is now in effect in Jamaica for all parishes until 8 a.m. on Friday. This means that flash flooding is possible. Residents should take precautionary measures, keep informed, and be ready for quick action if flooding is observed or if a warning is issued, the Weather Service said in a post on X, formerly Twitter, on Thursday afternoon. The Met Service had warned earlier that scattered showers are expected across the island, especially southern parishes, and rainy conditions are expected to continue through Friday into the weekend. Fisherfolk and other marine interests were also urged to exercise caution, especially on the island's south coast, as sea conditions are expected to deteriorate. Attorney Refutes claim that Westmoreland taxi operator fled the scene of accident. The lawyer representing the Westmoreland taxi operator Delroy Rodney, who is charged with 5 counts of causing death by dangerous driving, has refuted claims that the cabby fled the scene of the accident. My client is not a flight risk. He contacted his lawyer instantly after he returned from the hospital to take him in, Rodney attorney Faith Someone told reporters after the matter was mentioned in Westmoreland Parish Court on Wednesday afternoon. He is also being represented by attorney at law Lambert Johnson. Rodney made his first appearance on Wednesday. He was remanded, and a mentioned date has been set for Monday, November 20. The defense made the application for bail, and the prosecution will respond on Monday. We are awaiting a response from the judge to give his final say, someone added. Reporters witnessed a number of taxi operators and church members outside the courtroom who came to lend their support to the accused. Earlier this week, Westmoreland Head Cop Senior Superintendent of Police Wayne Joseph said Rodney fled the scene of the fatal crash. According to police reports, about 3:30 p.m. on Monday, the taxi with 6 people aboard was traveling towards White House when the vehicle it was traveling behind slowed down. The cab driver alleged the swift collided with a truck that was traveling in the opposite direction and ended up in a tree. 3 of the occupants of the vehicle died on the scene, while the other 2 that were transported to hospital succumbed to their injuries on Monday night. Lower House approves consolidation of NCDA and NFPB in MOH. The Lower House has approved the consolidation of the National Council of Drug Abuse and the National Family Planning Board into the Health Ministry. The bills to repeat the legislation for both entities will next go before the Upper House for approval, then to the Government General to assent. In his contribution to the debate on the bills on Wednesday, opposition spokesperson on Health Dr. Maurice Guy raised concern about aspects of the integration and how it will impact the effectiveness of the 2 entities. He noted, for instance, concern with the work of the council will get lost in the main ministry. In response, Dr. Christopher Tufton noted that the integration of the 2 entities into the ministry will allow for a more targeted approach. Dr. Tufton said the effectiveness of the entities will also depend on them having good management.
Will the timely intervention in matters of substance abuse and ameliorative measures be done as expeditiously as is done now? I understand the thinking, Madam Speaker, but cannot help but wonder whether the work of the current council will get lost in the mainstream ministry and become less than an effective replacement. In terms of the reporting relationship, the executive director of the current NCDA reports to a board appointed by the minister. And in terms of direction, Section 16 of the Act states, the minister may, after consulting with the chairman, give general directions concerning the policy to be followed by the board in relation to the exercise and performance, its function, and the board shall give effect to those directions. In light of the new contemplated structure, of the CTD reporting to the permanent secretary? What, if any, challenge may be envisioned in terms of policy, and will the oversight given by the current board, equate to what will be given to an already fully tasked permanent secretary?
Change in the environment has allowed for a lot more mechanisms to be deployed to reach the targeted population in both instances, whether it's the drug abuse possibility or child rearing and through the family planning board. Technology, for example, has allowed far greater reach. Well, that's a double-edged sword. So we have to plan to ensure that it is positively targeted and or specifically targeted and reach the audience for which it is intended. But the truth is, you can go into everybody's living room, whether through their smartphone or through television. In those times, back in the 70s, it wasn't that easy, obviously. So with all of that empowering tools that are now available and infrastructure, it is possible to consolidate, to more strategically target and literally niche targeting to reach the population that you desire to reach and to be more effective in the messaging. Not only has the demographic profile and the social profile of the population has changed, requiring a rethink of what we are offering and how we structure it, but the truth is the infrastructure, the technology has changed, which allows us now to adjust and achieve the objectives, and even more so than we could have back in those times. So I do agree that the risks are greater in many respects, certainly in terms of drugs and drug usage. It's a greater risk because the exposure is greater, and we have seen new emerging trends that can be a threat. So the concern around will these agencies, will these entities be watered down is a valid concern. And I'm here to say to you that based on how it is structured and its integration into the regional authorities through things like primary health care, I believe that we'll be in a much better position, because essentially it's going to work together and the strategic planning will be more robust to achieve the objective. So I think a lot will depend on the management of the entities. And as you know, we will have to make our best effort to get the best people to support the management.
Tiger killed in Portland. A laborer from Portland was shot and killed early Wednesday morning. He is Romain Tiger Grant of David Lane, Port Antonio in the parish. According to police report, Grant was at his home asleep when a man armed with a handgun allegedly forced open the front door to his house and fired about 7 shots at him. The police were called and Grant was rushed to hospital, where he died while undergoing treatment. The incident reportedly happened about 5:45 a.m. This has moved the number of murders in the parish to 14. Investigations are ongoing.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share,